Servus Männer, it's Red Pill Germany again. In recent days, we have seen the onset, I would call it, of the next major purge on, how should I say, Silicon Valley social media platforms or Silicon Valley based tech companies. They are purging content producers, they are deleting channels. Even the president of the United States has been permanently suspended, so he cannot tweet anymore, and all these things are happening now. From Ireland, Computing Forever also lost his YouTube channel, I have heard. And we expect, of course, in the coming days and weeks that will increase. And I'm checking every morning if I'm still there. But so far, as you see, I'm still here. So I want to do two things. And the first is, of course, I want to advertise, or I want to tell you once again to go on all tech platforms. It is, in the beginning I was hesitant too. It's one more app or two more apps, and there are so many already, or websites or something. But in the end, I found it really enriching, even though I'm not suspended or something like that. I had some problems in the past, but lately they seem to leave me alone. But I noticed that I find much more different material on sites like Odyssey or BitChute than I find on YouTube. And while YouTube is, of course, a great search engine and a great archive or a great site for videos like DIY stuff or tutorials or what have you, when it comes to political commentary or stuff that is a little more edgy or out there, then I nowadays I don't even look so much on YouTube anymore. I go directly to all tech sites. So I want to invite you once again to check out BitChute and Odyssey and other platforms if you wish, but these are the ones that I am on, and you can find all my videos there. And also, of course, follow people that have lost their presence on YouTube, for example, and join them there. And I think in the future this will be much more important than it has been so far. And the second thing I want to do today is discuss a little bit what the change might be in the world of social media, political commentary, freedom of speech related questions. Because so far, we had this discussion a couple of times already. There were always, there were always purges and people were deleted, and then it was always, follow them to all tech. I mean, we have seen this before, right? And we have always said that the political right or the commentary community or the a little more edgy content creators, and I have even heard that leftists are also affected by this stuff. I can't really say too much about it. I just heard that somewhere. I don't know if that's true, but be that as it may, the argument was always, and I think it has been true so far and still is probably, that this part of the internet is so small that economically or whatever, it doesn't really matter for these big tech giants if they would delete Styx or Sargon or something. In the grand scheme of things, that is not a view count that affects them so much. I mean, if you take all the makeup tutorials, all the kitchen recipes, or all the DIY stuff, all the tech tutorials, all the entertainment, all the media stuff that is, now more than a couple of years ago, the big network or the big cable networks, the big news channels, the newspapers, they all have massive presences there that are pushed by the algorithm, of course. So the argument has always been so far that our neck of the woods is so small and insignificant that it doesn't really affect them. They could delete us and they wouldn't really notice anything, economically speaking at least. But I'm not so sure if in this year, 2021, at this point in time, this is still the case. And the reason is, I can only speak for Germany right now, but I assume that it might be similar in other countries. In Germany, I told you before, right? So many people that I assumed to be normies, or that I knew as holding middle of the road, milk toast kind of beliefs and acting as such. So they didn't have any alternative ideas about 20th century European politics or history, and they also, yeah, they weren't outspoken nationalists or anything like that. That would normally get you in trouble with censors. But now, in the year 2020, yeah, they have been noticing, because of this China bug thing, primarily actually, that our mainstream media is not really a reliable source of information, and that they consider themselves now as outside of the mainstream. And I told you, like, there was this coworker of mine, or yeah, acquaintance, let's say, and he said, "Oh, I have a Telegram channel now. Why don't you follow me there?" and stuff like that, right? And I was like, "Wow, really? This guy? Interesting, yeah." And so I think, from my experiences in Germany, I can say that, especially from that, the China bug, right? So many people have been mobilized towards alternative voices, towards alternative media, towards maybe even the internet as a news source in Germany for the first time. Maybe they were still watching TV until then. I don't know. And that is a big deal. And this is no longer an insignificant little fringe part. And look at the United States, for example. Due to Trump's presidency, I would say, there were so many people that were in some way or the other, quote unquote, red-pilled, or whatever you want to call it. At least, I mean, of course, they are still very, very different in their beliefs, and yeah, we can argue about what is a true awakening all day, but they don't consider themselves as part of the mainstream anymore, and that is what counts. So they are getting their information from alternative sources, and these people, of course, many of them, they still use those big tech platforms, of course. I mean, they might go on these alternative sites for this channel and the other, but not for all the rest, right? But what if there is a mass exodus now? What if a lot of other people who do completely different content, or who maybe they're on the edge of the edge, let's say, so the gray area between the stuff that gets deleted and the stuff that is completely in line with mainstream ideas. Those people, what if they would go to all tech too? Like, let's say in the course of this year, for example. If more and more people go there, and if more and more people really see that they don't get the information they want there is censorship, and why are we still using these major platforms for all the rest of our needs in the internet? Oh, I mean, okay. I mean, you know what I mean, right? I mean, for example, for cooking recipes or something like that, right? But I mean, even if that's not the case, even if BitChute never becomes the major resource for tech tutorials and for pie recipes, excuse me, even if that might never happen, probably will never happen, I think this year is different. I think this year is different than all the other purges, all the other waves of deleted channels and so on before. I think this year we could really see that more and more people, and a sizable amount of people, a noticeable amount of people from the perspective of the tech giants, would leave their sites and would probably only for certain things still use Silicon Valley platforms. Maybe the other way around, right? Now they generally use Silicon Valley outlets, and maybe for this and that, for the exceptional stuff, they use alt tech. Maybe this will reverse. Maybe they will start to generally use alt tech, and then maybe as an exception, if they don't find it there, then they will go to Silicon Valley sites with all the ads and all the hassle and so on. Who knows? So this is just what I mean, I'm not predicting that or something. I'm just saying this is something that could happen, and maybe it will. Let's see what this year will bring. And I could very well imagine that this could happen. And of course, the mainstream now, this is the next thing that you can expect. They will try to do what they did before. They will call them extremists, and not the people, I mean the sites, right? This is a site that is used by blah, blah, blah. And this is a network that is used by these nasty people, so we should ban it. And you see it already. Like, didn't Parler just get dropped by the App Store and stuff like that? So they want to try to not only vilify the people, but also the alt tech platforms that they start to use, and we shouldn't allow that to happen. And just as I said, go to Odyssey and BitChute. There are others, but these are the ones that I use and I like them. Check out my channel there and others while you're there. The links are down in the description below. Let's make 2021 the year where alt tech really takes off. I know I'm not the best spokesperson for that, and there are other people who use it way more than me, but who knows? I set it up years ago, BitChute that is, and Odyssey recently. I set it up many years ago because I know that I'm in danger, so this is not for altruistic reasons at all. This is very self-serving. I could be deleted next. I could be deleted tomorrow. So I don't want to vanish altogether. And this is why I prepare. This is why I have channels on other websites too. They're mirrored there. Okay. So, catch you guys again later. Servus, Kameraden.